Welcome back to Compass Backstage. I'm very excited about this. Special guest Lisa Heller today. We're going to sit with you, an alt rock artist whose confessional songs burn with chaos and clarity. Love this. 3 million streams. You have over 3 million streams. Congratulations. A
Thank
viral
you.
traction on TikTok, shows alongside with Echo Smith, Coin, Mr. Wives, and soon, is it Joe?
Yes.
Dijo? Okay. Now, I love when I I'm going to butcher someone's name. Sorry, I don't mean to. And then you go, come on, everybody knows. Neon Trees. So you've become an indie music's most compelling new voice. And this fall, you're headlining LA's Moroccan Lounge, releasing your new EP, Kill Lisa, excuse me, Kill Lisa, which we're going to talk about that movie poster business because it's awesome. We're going to dive into her journey as an independent artist, how touring and releasing music has evolved for her, and how the Compass program has shaped her path. Welcome to Compass Backstage, Lisa.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. For those of you watching on TikTok, join me on Instagram or YouTube Live, and then you will see the conversation with Lisa and not just my point of view. Lisa, I'm so excited to dive into all of this because, I know before Compass, I saw you perform live. I'm seeing what you're doing now. I see your growth, from the inside out, but just also outward. There's so much always going on social that just to cheer and champion, and then when we look at stuff behind the scenes and being able to support, it's super exciting. I got some questions for you. So let's start at the before Compass. What made you want to do it? Where did you feel as an artist that you were unclear or a little stuck, or what were you wanting to do to elevate?
Yeah, I feel like I had a lot of the ideas of what I wanted to do and some of the tools of how I knew from just my own research, from my own connections, okay, I know how to put out an EP. I know how to do the steps, but am I doing it right? How do I believe in myself and believe in what I'm doing so it's not just thrown out there, but it's more something that I'm proud of and that I feel like is more similar to the level of the artist that I look up to. And also making it work with what I have, because obviously I don't have the major label budget to do a major music video or have the biggest team in the world with a creative director and this and this and this. So it's I really wanted to do Compass and just really hone in on who I am as an artist, so that with that budget that I do have and with the energy and effort and the vision that I have, how to bring that to life.
That's awesome. I mean, I love just the way you phrase that, the way that just the clarity, also recognizing here's what I have, here's what I want, here's some of my constraints. How do I how do I get more that was great. Just the clarity with which you started the program, I think, is why you got a lot out of it. So that's wonderful. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so great. Tell me about just in terms of process and in terms of the process of Compass, what did you feel you found? What were some of the breakthroughs or some of the pieces that you were like, oh, now I know what I want to do here?
Yeah, well, I think it originally started just with the sonic direction when we were focusing on I think it was called the sound charts, where where we were focusing in on every music inspiration that we've ever had, and also honing in on our different inspirations throughout our life. Sonically, I think we started with first, and I think that really made an impact, because I feel like there are lots of different parts of me, but it's really honing in on what I want to get across overall as an artist, and also per song and per EP, to make that story and experience consistent. So I think it first started with the music, and as it should, but it also went into the other areas too of okay, how do I want to get this across visually to match the sonic element? Because that's also such an important piece in this world of like short form content and imagery. I feel like people like they hear visually, and so I think there's a mix of both of those.
That's beautiful. Yes, for me, it all starts with the voice, right? As a vocal coach for 35 years, I'm here to empower someone to really free up their voice and express their truth. And then for me, Compass is the extension of that is okay, how do we now share that same voice visually in your sound, in your content? Like, how do we get the same freedom, message, and expression everywhere, right?
Mhm.
So I love that for you. It started with the music. I hear that in the new music, it feels that I feel like you've made a choice, right? Like it feels like you're in a lane. It feels like you are more laser focused, and it um, doesn't feel like your earlier stuff. Like even the show that I saw when I saw you in LA, the
Mhm.
new music feels like okay, you've gone more honed in, more specific, and just more uniquely you.
Thank you. That was my goal. So that means a lot to me. That makes me really happy.
Nailed it. Yeah, that's awesome. I really say that all of this, it's like forget a genre because it's not about a genre, it's about you. Before radio was formatted, you have to make what thrills you and then let them figure out. You could be in 3 genres, you know?
Mhm.
Um, let them figure out that, "Oh, she fits on our format. Great, let's play her." Right? But
Mhm.
it's you doing you that makes you thrilled, and then everything else makes sense after that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think if it's not authentic, then like people are smart. They will be able to, even if they don't see it right away, they can tell when someone's being authentic or not. And I think that that's something that's really important and taught in Compass too, is like honing in on it's not just like what you want to get across or like what visually you think is cool. It has to come from a place of like what is the most you, like what is like at the core of what you do and why you do it, to like amplify that instead of like I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of people out there that talk about like, oh, you have to be the next this, the next that. You have to like change your entire personality or like change your look, change your sound to like fit into one of those boxes. And I think adapting is important, but it's the most important is to be the most you because there's no one else that's you.
Very true. And that sounds, I mean, that can sound vague in the sense of like someone's like, well, of course I'm being me. I'm me, right? So, hey, Eric. Eric is joining us next Compass in November. I'm super excited. Eric won the scholarship
Oh, cool.
um, with the Rise partnership. Yeah, the scholarship with Rise. Yeah, because even that, like the word authentic now is very thrown around, and I believe in it. Like I believe in authenticity. It is a core of my philosophy. But now it's like the word toxic is thrown around. I'm like, everything's not toxic, so it's just comfortable sometimes. Um, and and you are always being you because you're being you, right? Like a friend of mine says, the idea of like, oh, I was off my path. You're not. It's your life. You're never off your path. It's your life. You can't be off your path. You just might have been, I headed this way for a bit and it didn't feel great. Let me try. Let me bring myself back here. Um, but I do think like in that question of authenticity for you, if you feel now like, oh, it's so much more me because I know who I am, what was limiting you, or what caused you perhaps not be as to not know yourself or not be as true to yourself? Were there habits you had, or I know like some artists will say, oh, I realized I was just always trying to please like the producer I worked with, or I didn't feel I could speak up, or what was holding you back from being able to express the way you are now?
Yeah, when you said please the producer, I think that that is something I literally have a song called People Pleaser. So I
That's right.
yeah, like it's just I think part of me is like it's just been part of me since I was little. Like I've always like wanted other people to be happy and what and I have just really like taken other people's opinions to heart. And I think that that isn't necessarily a bad thing because it makes me like empathetic, but it also in a way can be hindering because it's like focusing so much on what other people think and the
Sure.
judgments there instead
Yeah.
of focusing on what I actually think. And I think
Yeah.
that's part of like maturing too. But I also think in this Compass program, it was amazing that we like were able to really just think ourselves without anyone else like
Mm,
telling us what to do or what to think, like really
mhm.
honing in on what we think and what we believe and our own personal work.
That's awesome. Yeah, the entire program is me asking you to look at yourself, right, and go explore. So that's beautiful, though I hadn't thought of it the way you just said, was that process was you really just having the opportunity to hear yourself and listen to yourself, and what do I think? What you think how do I feel comes first. That's beautiful. I think a lot of people, depending on like how you come in, but then how you're raised, and there's so many reasons where like a lot of us are taught, and certainly females are often taught not to put yourself first, right?
Mhm.
So it can just be a learned habit, and then we have to practice and learn how to put ourselves first, and listen to yourself, not not without compassion and empathy for others, but in general, right?
Mhm.
The thing I get mad at myself for, and it's just me, I'm like, you did that, you did that, Wendy, you did that again. Is I really honor my wife, I really value her opinion, I value, but to the same point, sometimes I'll be like, I didn't listen to myself. I said we needed to do this, or I wanted it, and then I acquiesced, and it was like, and there it was. So it's the same of just listen to yourself first, and maybe sometimes it's not easy to do that. Like from in my case in a partnership, I'm like, I'm not going to be stubborn, but it's also right. Like where is that? So I think for your art, similar, like when you have a team or you have trusted people around you, it's important to listen to what they say. If you as an artist are saying no to your team all the time, no, 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 I know what I want, no, 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 I will know what I want, you're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no flexibility, you're in trouble. And if on the other hand they're telling you what to do and you just say yes, like if they're saying yes to you all the time or you're saying no all the time, either one is a problem, right? So you do want people on your team that you trust well enough to take their point of view, listen to it. Maybe you adjust something. Like, okay, I heard what you said. This is my vision. Let's take into account what you said, and can we tweak this a little? So that again, you're still in that leadership of vision and authenticity and artistry, but you're not ignoring like the trusted people you've hired.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely super important. I think it's like when you work with people in this industry, it's kind of similar to me as like in a way, it's like it's a relationship just as like a personal relationship. Like it's a give and a take, it's a collaboration. And like it's really important to try to be on the same page as much as possible, even if you have different opinions of like what might be best. It's like I think it's really important to like calmly discuss the different options and try to figure out what makes the most sense. And even if you disagree about something, it's important to like understand the other side and figure out like the best option.
Yeah. I definitely know people who have said to me, "Oh yeah, when I was young and signed to a label and I just didn't listen to them." And they're like, "Yeah, I was I mean, they knew what they were talking about." Like sometimes they're right. And then other times there's like, "No, like they're pushing me in a way in a direction I don't want to be like, or they're marketing." So I think it's really key that again that it's your vision and your vision is leading the team and everyone is in support of that, as opposed to someone else giving you the vision and saying, well, let's do it this way because you're not bringing anything, so we'll bring something to the table, let's go there. But yeah, it is a constant give and take, and I don't think it's a right or wrong, but when something thrills you, when it's feels like it's going against your alignment, right? Like, oh, that doesn't feel right to me. And that's key to listen to and about everything, like a brand partnership, a management contract, it's got to really align with you. Was there anything, was there a moment maybe that surprised you or you recognized like, oh, that's what I want to step into, or oh, that's what I've been holding back? Like, were there those kind of moments?
Yeah, I think that one thing that coming into Compass I really was trying to figure out was like I feel like I was really focused on doing this like sad girl pop music because it's what really like I when I first started releasing music, that's like what I turned towards and like that's what I really love to make. But as I've started like playing more shows and like getting on stage and being in like bigger rooms of people and like intimate crowds, big crowds, like I could tell that what like sometimes those songs really connected, but like the songs that I would play that were more in like the alternative rock space that were had like just more of a fun element to them are what really connected live. And there's a bit of a conflict in my head because I didn't want to stray too far away from like what I originally started making. And especially because like I did a lot of stuff related to mental health and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, well I have like two directions and I have to choose one, and like there's no other option and I'm stuck. And I think like even after Compass ended, like I kind of like was coming into my own, and over the summer I realized that I wanted to still do both in a way. So, and that ended up being like my most successful song right now, because I ended up re releasing this song that I had put out in 2021. It's called Is Anyone Listening? And it got some traction on TikTok then, but I was really scared to like um, release the real version with like the real lyrics about self-harm
Yeah,
because I was scared that it would trigger people or that I was just like had some shame around that. But like after doing Compass and over the summer, I decided that, you know what, like I do want to put that version out. Like people have been DMing me for 3 years, 3 or 4 years, asking me, please, please, please put this one out.
amazing.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I want to and I'm going to. And yeah, the lyrics are a little different than like the direction I've gone recently, but it still fits into what I'm doing. And so, my producer, Alex, that's been producing all my music this past year, made a new version of the song with the original self harm related lyrics. And it's just like crazy what's been happening. Like we got over 1 million views on TikTok so far. The song's only been out for like a month. It's at over a 250,000 streams. No like playlisting or anything, just organic like traction. Um, and that's really cool because it's not in like produced in like that sad girl like softer space. It's produced where it gets really big towards the end and it's more in that alternative space. So I was able to kind of bridge the gap between the two things. And I remember talking to you about this at the beginning of Compass, like, which way do I go? I'm
That's
both.
right.
What do I do? So that was something that
And
was
and
really
I'm pretty sure I said to you, there's going to be a way to weave them together.
yeah, you definitely did.
One thing. And that's gorgeous. Like that's the process of evolving as a human and as an artist. That's like you when you said, sad girl. I just imagine, well, a sad girl grows up and either you stay a sad girl for 40 years or you grow and you don't, right? Because I mean, as a human, I would imagine, I would hope that you evolve and find ways to not be sad all the time, right? And I say that, not um notwithstanding like someone who has depression, right? Like that's
Mhm,
but you evolve as a person, you evolve as an artist, and your music and your art needs to evolve with you. And it
mhm,
doesn't mean that Sad Girl Lisa won't be in your sixth album. It just instead of it being like the 100%, it's like, oh, it's in there 20%, or it's the shade of pink that it was has changed, or right, but it's not gone. You're always you, but you on by your fifth and sixth project is also these other things that may be stronger elements in you now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and I think that that's like held true, and I think that's something I'm excited about too. Is like over the past year, I've kind of expanded outside of just writing songs about my internal experience, and this new EP that is coming out. It's kind of it is on like my internal experience, but it also expands to like how I feel about society, how women are treated in society, and like the way that women are expected to be like hot but not too sexy, or like confident but not cocky, and like all these different things that
Not, but
are
only for me, right? Only for your partner.
yeah. Yeah, like there's society is so quick to go and criticize women, and I think that um I kind of wanted to get that across in a
Amazing,
project,
amazing.
and this is like my first concept EP. So I'm very excited about it.
I love that. I also want to commend you for taking the risk of sharing the version of the song's beautiful. I know when you released it and that first image and the video and the what I was seeing, like I just commend you for taking the risk of your honesty, of taking the risk of like, I don't know how this is gonna fly, and but leaning into your truth is you see the results.
Yeah, I think that's super true, and um I even for the first time just performed that version of the song live, opening for Joe last week, who people might know from as Steve Harrington from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But he also has a really cool music project, and I opened his first night of tour last week in Rochester, and I performed that version of Is Anyone Listening Unfiltered live, and it was just so crazy because there were like 5,000 people in the audience holding up their phone lights to the song, and it literally brought tears to my eyes because I had never imagined that I'd be able to like openly talk about something like this serious and be comfortable talking about it and not have shame talking about it.
I mean, for a million reasons, I commend you as a human being. That risk. By the way, if you're on TikTok, please join me on Instagram or YouTube Live, and you will see Lisa Heller on the screen as well. Um, so yeah, first of all, just taking that risk as a person to be vulnerable, incredible. Um, I think that the safest place to take those risks is in your art. You actually get paid and applauded for it. And the applause being like, thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing that and letting me feel, right? Um, and shame is shame is this idea that like not that something I did was wrong or something I did was a mistake. It's that I'm wrong. I'm bad. It's the blame on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so to share and release that, and when we do share, we relieve the shame, because what you get back are 5,000 lights. What you get back is someone saying to you, "Oh, I have empathy and I love you and I support you and I understand." So the shame gets to actually melt because it's no longer a secret, and the way you're received is not what you expect, right? It it alleviates the shame. So I'm just proud of you as a human and as a person for doing that. And then excited for your art that you did it,
Thank you.
that you're seeing the success from it, the connection that people feel. You're not alone in the experience, and now so, a million people aren't alone in the experience.
Yeah. It's been so amazing just seeing everyone's comments and DMs about all of it, and people sharing their own personal experiences and saying how this song has made them feel less alone, and how they've been able to be clean for days or weeks or months or years because of this song and the original version
Wow.
of it. And
Wow.
it's just definitely it's so powerful, and it definitely gives me a purpose, and it's really exciting.
I mean, that is the meaning of life, to have a positive impact on someone else's life is incredible. And then to hear that you're having it is a gift. Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So your relationship to sharing your art has changed dramatically. That's really, really beautiful. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like there comes a point sometimes where it's like it can feel like a job when you have to do all this stuff that maybe you didn't really feel like doing, like posting TikToks or like filming content or handing out flyers to strangers, which I've been doing this week for my show. And I think that it's really important to remember that it is for a reason, and like having that purpose and that meaning behind what I'm doing and not losing sight of that, because that makes all of the other stuff worth it, and it also makes it way more fun.
Yes. Like I'm doing all of this so I can connect with my audience. I'm doing all of this to have that impact. I'm doing all of this to share the message and to, connect with people. Like anything driven by a passionate purpose, gets you out of bed in the morning, right? And helps you have the grit to go through the stuff that isn't exactly what you want to be doing, right? Rather be writing, producing, performing than, sales and marketing. So
Yeah.
So speaking of which, the EP release, and the at the Moroccan Lounge is when?
It's on November 1st at the Moroccan Lounge, and I don't know if you know this, but another Compass member is actually opening the show.
I do.
So yeah, Stevie Daft. So I'm super excited to have her as well. She's an amazing rocker and she's gonna crush it. She's also part of the queer community, and I am just so excited. And yeah, we're hoping it sells out. I think it will. And we're gonna be playing the new songs off the EP and have some exclusive merch just for that one show. So I'm very excited.
Yes. So if the yes, so Stevie, I do know. Stevie told me, oh, a little technical thing, Shell, we're finding out that there's some freezing happening or lagging in the IG. We'll see. We're not seeing it here. Oh, I'm seeing it in the IG too. Yeah. I don't know why it would be happening, but we will check it out and see what we can do. We did have some technical issues just getting it streamed everywhere, not knowing why, but we'll see if we can look into that. So, back to Stevie and you. Yes. So the fact that we have that a Compass artist is opening for another Compass artist, like this is the whole point for me of the program, is the actual community that is built, the relationships and the collaborations and the support system of artists here for artists is really like the beauty of this to me, that that you're as an artist, it takes a lot of solitude and it is a very internal journey, but you're not doing it alone, and there's many other artists doing it with you, and specifically within Compass, we're all going on this path together on a certain timeline even, um, to be able to have those conversations with each other and be able to talk through things and get feedback from each other and just have a creative team around you that gets it. um, I think makes life a lot stronger and a lot better to have that support.
Yeah, totally. I think that definitely is exactly what I've experienced through Compass, and just being able to meet up with people. I also was able to meet Jessie based in Austin when she came out to LA, and it's just been really cool to like connect one on one with some of the other Compass members and just be able to get advice from each other, because Stevie also works in the sync part of the industry as well, and she just has so much insight about how all of that world works. And I just think it's so cool that yeah, like we might have never met each other otherwise, because like the city and just the industry in general can be kind of big and daunting, and I think it's really cool to meet other people who one way or another ended up in this program and are like going through the same experience together. It's kind of like a mini music school. It's cool. I really liked it.
Awesome. I'm so glad. That's great. I'm so excited. So tell me more about Kill Lisa, which has a whole like movie poster theme and feels like a murder happening. So tell me more or tell everybody about like that concept and and some of the inspiration or the meaning and concept because it's very bold. It's very specific, and I was showing someone who wants to take Compass in the fall, this next cycle, your Instagram and showing like where you are now with the release and going back even to like some tour shots. And then if we scroll back further on the Instagram pre-chorus, pre-Compass, you can see the vibe is different. You could see the
Mm.
and the first I mean, I'm showing you as an example of like and this is just one thing, right? This is just a one Instagram profile. Like there's so many layers to like how you share and what you share. And at the core of it, the music. But it was like it's very distinct of like, oh my gosh, yeah, you can see just such a strong point of view, a very distinctive, honed in vibe. There's a story happening. Um, and I describe it that I think marketing is shiny and shallow,
Mm.
and the authentic has depth, and therefore, as the audience member, it makes me curious. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much. Like, oh, I need to know more. Like just seeing Kill Lisa as a film poster, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to know more. The story around. It. I want to know more because there's depth, there's layer, there's purpose and intent behind it, and you can see all that. So it makes me want to dive in. So tell
That
me
makes
about
me so
Elisa.
happy. Yeah. So I think that this has been a long time coming. I had this idea of an EP actually a few years ago, but I was a little bit nervous to actually pursue it. And I didn't really feel like I had the tools to take on something like this. This was my first kind of creative direction role that I've ever done as well. Cause
Amazing.
I like made like I forget what it was called that you had us put together, the like lookbook thing.
Brand deck.
Yeah, the brand deck. And I made one specifically. Well, first I made one overall for like what I want to be as an artist. And then I was like honing in as well for this specific EP. And I was just thinking a lot about like this was kind of as I was writing the songs too. So it's kind of
This is what you
um,
brought into the meeting, the
yeah,
momentum. Yeah.
yeah. And it was like kind of how I am fighting with two different versions of myself. Like the one that society wants me to be, like this perfect, hot, plastic surgery, fake, like shallow version of myself that society thinks they want me to be. And then
Mm.
there's like the actual Lisa that is so much more than that, but is also definitely far from perfect and has a lot of flaws, but is authentic. And I just wanted to like have these two versions of myself, like the alter ego perfect version and the real Lisa, kind of fight it out throughout an EP and see who wins.
I
And
love
so
it.
this the idea of the EP is that as you're listening through it, it's like the real Lisa is in there somewhere, but the alter ego takes over. And it's kind of like in The Substance, if you've seen that movie, when like the fake like perfect version takes over, and then you kind of slowly realize why that's too good to be true and definitely not what anyone wants.
Yeah.
And
Mystic Law saying they'll see authentic is sexy. So true.
exactly.
So true.
And that is,
Authenticity is attractive.
yeah, and that's kind of like the core message of this EP. And by the
Mhm.
end, I the authentic real Lisa won over and killed off the other version. So
I love it. I love it. Like this is, I mean, truly this Well, first of all, like this is just what great art is. Great art is you having an imagination and an idea and then fulfilling it and playing it out and see and like creating the art around it in every way, from the music to the visual to the poster to the music video, like just all the concept. Um, it's wonderful. It's really wonderful.
Thank you.
And the other thing I've heard you say a few times today now is um, that it seems that from the experience of Compass, you've just had the confidence and the courage to do some things you've been wanting to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that it kind of was like this switch that went off in my head that was like, why am I holding myself back from what I want to do? Like, like, I needed to like give myself permission to just do it and go for it. Like, I've wanted to pursue this. I have been pursuing this, but like it's like one foot out the door, and it was like this push and pull of like, oh, I want to do it, but I need it to be perfect, but I need to show this version of me, and I need to do this, and I need to, and like, yeah, that's true. I need to get everything in order. I need to do these things, but that can't keep me from actually doing it. Like, I gotta just like a switch flipped, and I was like, I'm effing doing it. Like, here we go.
And there's a song in there that the switch flipped. I love that. Hey, Ricky P, fantastic producer and one of our Compass mentors just joined us. Thanks for being here. I'm just ecstatic for you. Like I'm ecstatic for the trust you're having in yourself and the going for it and the art you're creating. I'm really thrilled because this is just us getting the best of you. And as you evolve as a person, as you grow in the next project, like just continuing to utilize these tools and awareness of yourself to say, okay, what's my next great idea? How do I want to do that? How do I want to execute it? How can I show up being my bold self or whatever that is? And in fact, you said earlier about, we were talking about blending your sound and like having your own, like taking the two things into one and, you don't just totally change direction. I love John Moreland as an example who like 5 seconds into every song makes you cry, like just cry. He sits on a stool and he plays finger picking arpeggios on an acoustic guitar, and it's so golden. And prior to that, he was in a punk band,
Oh, wow.
yeah, and a successful one. And he found like that change of like from this band to this is how I express myself solo, right? And authentic, or yes, that was authentic for me as a teenager, or that was me getting out what I needed to get out through that style. But now I have something else I want to say, and it requires a different way to say it. Right? Like it's not dishonest. It's just finding you and what works for me now, what works for me now. And we are, I think, I don't think we really change as people. We come in who we are, and yet we're also affected by the world and affected by nurturing and affected, and then peeling that off and emerging again to be who you actually are. I think adulting is that little kid of you and that spirit coming out and being able to come out. But then we also grow and are affected by many things. So it's uh, it's just an evolution of finding your truth and finding your truth now, right? Like maybe that worked for me before, but that doesn't work for me now. And I'm going to allow the next expression to happen because it needs a new way through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's why, like, you see so many artists having different evolutions of themselves through each different project,
Mm,
because we are multifaceted. We're not just one thing. And I think it's okay. It's more than okay. It's actually a good thing when each project has its own little like snapshot shot of where you
mm,
are in life. Because
mm.
if you're just like doing the same thing over and over again, it's like, have you not had any more experiences? Because like, I think it's important to like for the art to evolve with your life in
Yeah.
order for it to like stay authentic.
I agree, and for you to enjoy it. And again, you're always you, so there'll be a through line, right? Like, and I think if somebody like again is faking it or someone gave them a cool marketing idea, you can see them in that. It's like, wait, this is just like painted on. What is this? I don't get it. It doesn't ring true.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me look at some of my questions I had for you. You've done college tours, you've opened for major artists, and now you're headlining. How's your confidence on stage evolved? Like through this same, like like you've said, you've had a lot of more confidence to lean in. You're making a choice to sing the song and like put those lyrics in there. Like, how's your stage presence and your connection to your audience changed?
I think that's something that I realized that works well for me is remembering that the performance, of course, I'm going to enjoy performing and it's something I love doing, but really the performance isn't for me. It's for everyone watching. And kind of like keeping that in mind every single second that I'm on stage. It's like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you in
Yeah.
a way that kind of like takes all the pressure, like it kind of makes me get out of my own head a little bit because I'm like, I'm thinking about like the experience that they're having and trying to create the best version of that instead of like being so perceived and thinking about like, oh, what do they think of me, me, when in reality like it's really for them.
I don't
And
know. I don't know if you remember if this like just kind of sank in through the process, but the first day of Compass is blueprint. It's the first session I have with every artist, and that's the that's what we talk about. That it the songwriter serves the song, and then the song serves the artist, and then the artist serves the audience. Right? You're there to take them on an emotional journey, and you're there to have the impact you want to have. So make the impact, which is less about how am I doing, right? They're not there to tell you how you're doing. They're there going, please make me feel something, do something to this heart and soul. So your job is really to impact them, which is such an honor and a privilege. And then,
yeah.
of course, you are the first receiver as well. Like that, you're the first audience member. So I want you to be enjoying it too, right? We're like, oh my gosh, like I love the sound of my own voice, or I love the feeling I'm having. I love you are the doer, but you're also on that ride with everybody. And of course I want you to enjoy the ride because that's what keeps it fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, yeah, I love being on stage more than anything. It's like my favorite part of the day, week, month, year. So,
That's awesome. And I'm proud of you too. That again, like the joy is in being of service in that way, right? That you get to stay connected to the fun and the joy more because you are focused on like affecting people and less you have the freedom of not feeling so self-conscious.
yeah. And I think that's a good thing for me to know too, is like sometimes I do get like, oh, I don't really feel like working on social media today, but like remembering that it is for them, for the audience, for the fans, for the people listening and watching. I think because whenever I do that, I feel so much better about it because it's
Yeah.
not as much like an internal thing, an internal fight.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And I mean, social media I think is amazing. Like here we are on it. It's amazing. It's also just such a demand. It's a lot. It's a lot for you to do. It's a lot for you to yeah, it's a lot for you to do on top of the music. On top um, as we wrap up, I want to ask you for indie artists who are where you were, say, a year ago, or even speaking to younger you, what would you tell younger you today?
I would tell younger me to fully embrace the journey and not get so wrapped up in the outcome because the outcome might actually not look exactly like you think it might, and it might be even better. And instead, just embrace the journey, embrace what you love to do the most, which is music, which is performing, which is writing, and try your best to just focus on that and being authentic and put your head down and just make art like you've always wanted to
Love,
and get it out there.
I love that. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And you're very young to have that awareness already, really, to like let go of the outcome and enjoy the process. It's not always easy to do, but it really is where the joy is, and the outcomes are better. And then looking ahead, what are you excited to lean into creatively or personally?
Yeah, well, I'm super excited for this EP coming out on Halloween, but I am also excited for next year. We're planning to do more headline shows, hopefully on the East Coast as well, and also a bunch more college shows. We're talking about doing some more support tours, and I'm just really excited for the new music that's going to be after this EP because we're already working on that now and trying to just figure out, okay, like where do we go from here and how do we expand beyond this project. And I'm just so excited. Like every new song I write, I'm like, okay, like let's get to that one already. I want to release this one now.
That's
So
awesome.
I think it's just I'm just really excited about the next year, and I hope I can play a bunch of shows.
That's awesome. Well, bring the new concepts into a momentum meeting, and we'll help support you with that and help you, flesh them out and see what I can bring to it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. So Lisa shows what happens when raw honesty meets intentional growth. And from college tours to headlining stages, from uncertainty to releasing your most fearless project yet, I think that you are proof that investing in yourself as an artist can transform not just your music, but your entire career. Kill Lisa arrives October 31st. Do not miss it. The Moroccan Lounge. Get your tickets for an LA show. And for artists wondering how to step into your clarity, Lisa's journey through Compass is a reminder that the tools and the community you need are here, and you just need to say yes. Our next, our last cycle of 2025 is happening in November. We're currently receiving applications. So if this conversation, if these ideas, and if these needs sound like something you want, apply at Compass. Links in my bio on Instagram and, of course, my website. And hit Lisa up, follow Lisa, and go to the show if you're based in LA. And if you're not, grab the album. Kill Lisa. I love it. Lisa, you're awesome.
Thank you so much, Wendy. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
it's really like, when you talk about the meaning of life, like for me, seeing your growth is why I do this. And it's really like I'm cheering you on, and I'm also like really honored that I could play a small part and have a contribution to you, and that's beautiful.
You've definitely played more than a small part. It's just Compass has been so insanely helpful, and I can't say how much I have already recommended this to so many people, and it's
Awesome.
just like I would so recommend it to anyone watching this.
That's awesome. Yay. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you on my lives next time in the next Backstage. You can watch full versions on my YouTube channel. And I feel so weird saying any and all of that stuff. It's so weird. And see you next time. Is it? But you can watch the full episodes are on my YouTube channel of interviews and other conversations I've had, as well as like when I'm on here alone, just talking about a topic. And there's my office doing its weird thing, and of course we'll be sharing snippets online. Turn this off here. Thank you all.
Thank you.